The more I live life and get older, and I'm getting older every day, just like everybody else, I realize that there is a lot of basically deprogramming that you have to go through to do better, right? Like there is a ton of psychological work for you to work on things to get to like there's only so far that you can possibly do if you're being held back by psychological barriers in your head, and then you have to come to terms with, wait a minute, I have to deal with these things, I have to get through them. Now, maybe not everybody has psychological barriers or things that they're dealing with, particularly from when you were a kid and, growing up as a teenager, but I do. And I realize that a lot of the things that hold me back are related to, events that happened to me when I was really small, when I was a teenager. I've sort of talked about the story before. I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. It's especially early on. I sort of found a group of friends that were awesome later on, in my later years of high school, but that those early years were really formative for me, and those stuck with me for a long time. In fact, like me just saying that right now, I have vivid images in my mind of being at a cafeteria, and just kind of trying to hide, and feeling like to hide. And those moments, those things, um, they stay with me. They actually, you get these weird flashbacks. Like yesterday, I was at, um, I was swimming. We had to get out of the pool. It's an outdoor pool. We had to get out of the pool because there was lightning that was going on, and I remember um, having the same feeling that you feel like I did in the cafeteria, wanting to hide, but not everybody had somebody to they were all kind of goofing around. It was kind of noisy, and here I'm kind of like standing by myself, which is like it's not. I'm swimming with all age groups, and there's not that many people that are my age that are there. So, understandably, that makes sense. But then you have this sort of weird psychological flashbacks of that, right? Like you don't kind of just get over those things, and it's weird that these things sort of chase you around, and they chase you around in the decisions that you make, and then how you feel about the world, and I have to get over those things, but you don't get over them, but you kind of acknowledge that they actually existed, um, and then you move on with your life. And when you get to the moment where you can acknowledge that that actually existed in your life, and yes, they're real, and all sorts of trauma, right? Like in my early years, there was lots of trauma in my family that was way more severe than that. Um, and I didn't realize that because I was sort of growing up in my life, right? Like I grew up in a, um, so my immediate family, excuse me, were very loving, in a lot of ways. Like it's extremely loving, but extended family, we had like family violence. Um, you know, uh, we had my oldest sister. She ran away from home and was actually murdered. Yeah, I just want to point out that all of this stuff you carry with, you can't stop what happened to you in your life. You can't sort of um, run away from those particular things. They happen in your life, right? But what you can do is work on those things that happened in your life, and realize that, you're just a good person that's dealing with stuff in your life. And we all have this stuff that has happened. And we all deal with these things that have happened. And there's no way that you can actually process these things other than just acknowledging that they actually happened and they're part of your life, and you move on, right? Like that's part of what we actually do is look around and realize, yeah, you know what, the world's not perfect, right? There's you got a lot of the stuff that's going on in many areas, and you just simply have to deal with it and be happy with who you are. And until you start addressing those things and acknowledging that they actually exist, it's never going to happen to you. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.